Welcome again to the Purposes of God. I am your host, Doug Krieger, for this special 29-part prophetical video series of the Tribulation Network. We're now going to be viewing video number 22. In video 22, we'll be going into the measurements of the Ark of the Covenant and again the Temple of Solomon. This is the third part within this special series on Solomon's Temple and the Ark of the Covenant. Solomon's throne. Let's discuss this a little bit more. The king made a great throne of ivory, overlaid it with pure gold. The throne had 6 steps. The top of the throne was round at the back. There were armrests on either side of the place of the seat, and 2 lions stood beside the armrests. 12 lions stood there, one on each side of the 6 steps. Nothing like this had been made for any other kingdom. 1 Kings 10:18 through 20. In the judgment of man, 6. His witness, 2, is in righteousness. Coming to Solomon as a picture of the Lamb upon the throne, there are on either side of these 6 steps the 12 lions, 6 on either side of each step, or 2 times 6 equals 12. This picture of kingly judgment, we are under his kingship, wherein his righteous judgments as King of kings and Lord of lords, the Son of Man, is manifested again, 12, to the 12 tribes of Israel and to the 12 apostles of the Lamb. 2 times 12, of course, equals 24. 2 lions times 12 lions equals 24. Therefore, the 2 lions on either side of the throne times the 12 lions in front of the throne will equal 24, the 24 elders of the book of Revelation. Solomon's building complex. Now this is very impressive. This is again an artist's rendering of what it may have looked at like. The temple area is at the top, and the Hall of the Forest of Lebanon and the Hall of Judgments are in front of that. The next photo will clearly depict there's the entryway going into the temple, altogether very, very majestic, with all of these separate structures, these buildings, in front of the Temple Mount area. This will clearly delineate where these structures are. So King Solomon surpassed all the kings of the earth in riches and wisdom. 1 Kings 10 verse 24. Some of the certain and some tentative identifications we can make here. Number 1, at the very top is the 120 cubit tall temple itself, the Lord's temple built by Solomon. Number 2 is the gate to the inner temple court area. Number 3 is the outer temple court area. Number 4 is the likely edifice of the house of treasures. Number 4 there on your right near the temple. Number 5 is the house of Pharaoh's daughter. Number 6, the porch of judgment that we've discussed. Number 7 is Solomon's house that he built for himself, his palace. Number 8, the house of the forest of Lebanon, very large. Number 9, the possible site of the porch of pillars to the temple and the citadel coming from the palace of Solomon and the house of the forest of Lebanon. Please note that the temple complex, 3 acres in one complex plus 6 other structures, will equal 7 complete structures. The tabernacle, the temple, the Ark of the Covenant depict man as the temple of the Holy Spirit. We see here a picture of the temple of man. The body is the exterior. What is seen, the outer court. The soul of a man is man's psyche, his mind, his will, and emotion. This depicts the holy place of the temple of man. The spirit of man is man's human spirit, his innermost being, the ultimate dwelling place of the Holy Spirit, the Holy of Holies, the meeting place where fellowship with God takes place. The measurement of the mercy seat and the ark of the covenant. You shall make a mercy seat of pure gold. 2.5 cubits shall be its length, and 1.5 cubits its width. Exodus 25:17. Note, the height of the mercy seat is not mentioned. The actual Ark of the Covenant's measurements are found in Exodus 25:10. And they shall make an ark of acacia wood. 2.5 cubits shall be its length, and 1.5 cubits its width, and 1.5 cubits its height. Heretofore, this author, after 40 years of research, failed to comprehend the magnitude of the ark's measurements. He anxiously searched, but only with the discovery of the sacred cubit and the principles aforementioned throughout these presentations are its measurements declared. And to God be the glory. Let us look at the measurements of the mercy seat and of the Ark of the Covenant. There are 2 items here. First, the measurements in cubits of the mercy seat. 2.5 times 2 equals 5 cubits. 1.5 times 2 equals 3 cubits. The total cubits of the mercy seat are 8. The measurements in cubits of the Ark of the Covenant. 2.5 cubits times 4 edges, length as a rectangle, will equal 10 cubits. 1.5 cubits times 8, the edges of its width and height, will equal 12 cubits. Together, the total cubits of the Ark of the Covenant are 22. The total cubits of the mercy seat are 8, and the total cubits of the Ark of the Covenant are 22. This gives us a combined linear number of cubits of 30 cubits of both the mercy seat and the Ark of the Covenant combined. Now let's take a look at the meaning of the 30 cubits of the mercy seat and the ark combined. And I will dwell among the children of Israel, and will be their God. Exodus 29:45. In Revelation 21:3 we read, And I heard a loud voice from the throne saying, Now the dwelling of God is with men, and he will live with them. They will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God. The presence of the Almighty in relationship with his people is seen in the mercy seat and the Ark of the Covenant. 30 is the age for all Levites to minister in age as a Levitical priest. Numbers chapter 4 verses 1 through 3. 30 is the age where Jesus commenced his ministry. Now Jesus himself began his ministry at about 30 years of age. Luke chapter 3 verse 23. God's intention was that all his people would be priests to minister unto him in his presence. And you shall be to me a kingdom of priests and a holy nation. Exodus 19:6. The desire of God was that all Israel, not just the Levites, should minister unto him as priests. The sacred cubit, the 30 cubits, the great pyramid, and the apocalypse. 25.20, the measurement in inches of the sacred cubit, times 30 of the Ark of the Covenant and the mercy seat, will equal 756 inches. This measurement in feet constitutes one of the 4 sides of the Great Pyramid of Giza. Thus the Ark of the Covenant and the Great Pyramid are related, and they are related to the New Jerusalem as well in the book of Revelation. 756 feet times 4 equals 3,024. Divided by 2 will equal 1,512. The number of the word apocalypsis in Greek, it's gematria, a testimony to the coming of the final day foretold by Enoch. In Jude 14 and 15 we read, "Now Enoch, the seventh from Adam, whom we believe was responsible for the building of the Great Pyramid at Giza, the seventh from Adam, prophesied about these men also, saying, Behold, the Lord comes with 10,000s of his saints to execute judgment on all, to convict all who are ungodly among them of all their ungodly deeds, which they have committed in an ungodly way, and of all the harsh things which ungodly sinners have spoken against him." Jude is referencing this from the apocryphal book called Enoch. Enoch foresaw into the future the final judgment. Therefore, the 1520 of the Apocalypse found in the Great Pyramid of Giza bears great significance of that final day of judgment. Bearing the Ark of the Covenant. The Ark was carried 2,000 cubits ahead of the nation. Numbers R2:9 from the Jewish Virtual Library. 2,000 cubits ahead of the nation as it marched in front of them, times the sacred cubits measurement itself of 25.20 inches will equal 5,040, or 5,040, Plato's very important number, divided by 2 will equal 2520, or 25.20, the sacred cubit in inches. The prophetic witness and testimony of the ark and its transport undeniably attest to Daniel's 70th week and the climax of the ages, the Almighty's purposes wholly realized within the 2,520-day time frame of Daniel's 70th apocalyptic week. Redemption, the Levites, 273, the number 12, 144, and the 144,000. This is the last video slide in video number 22. In the book of Numbers, chapter 3, verses 40 through 51, it speaks of the redemption of 273 souls of Israel's firstborn, over and above their total number of 22,000. That is, 22,273 were numbered as the firstborn of all the tribes of Israel. Now, there were 22,000 Levites, according to the book of Numbers, chapter 3, verse 39. But these 273 over and above the total 22,000 of the firstborn of Israel must be redeemed in a peculiar manner. 5 shekels each would be the price of their redemption. 1 shekel is equal to 20 gerahs, according to the book of Numbers, chapter 3, and verse 47. Now, when we take the 273 times 5 shekels each, it will equal 1,365 shekels, which is times 20 gerahs each will equal 27,300, which can be viewed in a singular or in a thousands fashion. In a singular fashion, we take each of the numbers comprising 273, that is 2 plus 7 plus 3 equals 12, or 273 in a singular. redemption of the 12 tribes of Israel. God's intention was for all Israel to minister unto him. So 12 times 12 equals 144, the wall of the New Jerusalem. And 12 times 12,000 equals 144,000. 1,365 times 20 equals 27,300. Full redemption and prophetic fulfillment. And finally, let us not forget that the 273 is also the number of miles between the Great Pyramid of Giza and the Temple Mount. That 273 miles, when multiplied by 5,280 feet, is equal to 1,441,400, or two sets of 144, 144, which is also the number of the New Jerusalem. So we see in the firstborn 273, and we see in the distance of 273, the intention of the purpose of God that they would be destined for the New Jerusalem. Again, I'm your host, Doug Krieger of the Tribulation Network. We're now concluding video number 22 and moving on to video number 23.